great as well. Unfortunately, the spirit has gone out of traditional Christmas and what it was initially supposed to be about. I think Christmas is a time of being thankful to God that you have this time with your family, that you have your health, and remembering those people who are less fortunate. I'm British, but I converted to Islam about 10, 11 years ago now. To look at me, you would never guess that my great-grandmother was actually a suffragette. One of the great things about Britain is that it is very, very tolerant, and it's the best country, I believe, it's the best country to live in if you want to be able to freely practice your religion. Possibly about 2 years after converting, I decided to wear a niqab. And since I started covering, I actually feel much more liberated, which I know a lot of people probably won't be able to understand. I don't wear the niqab to separate myself from society. It's not about separation. It's like asking a person who's covered in facial pins, are you doing this because you don't want to be part of society? It's their personal choice. And as a society, we should be more tolerant of people's personal choices. Jack Straw's comments this year, they weren't particularly helpful to the Muslims trying to live quite peacefully in this society. I wonder if Jack Straw would have the same difficulty in communicating with women who wore revealing clothes, as he obviously clearly does with a woman who wears a veil. If we look at some of the consequences, the one woman's niqab was actually pulled down as a direct result of his comments. That whole event of the cartoons and the aftermath of the cartoon images really highlighted how much more tolerant we need to be in this society of one another's religions. The more radical or extremist types of Muslims, and they are in the minority. They do get a lot of the media attention. However, two wrongs don't make a right. It would be great if the media could give more of a platform to the majority of Muslims who have the moderate views of Islam, which are the traditional teachings of Islam. I have a relative who's in the army who will be going out to fight in Afghanistan quite soon, which makes me quite worried about him, because obviously I don't want anything to happen to him. I also don't want him to be killing any people either in Afghanistan, i.e. the Muslims in Afghanistan as well. So it's a very difficult position to be in. There'll be families at Christmas feeling very sad. There'll be an empty chair where their sons haven't returned from these awful situations that they're in. It's just awful, very, very awful situation to be in across the board, regardless of race, colour, or creed. In Islam, we believe that the death of one person is like killing the whole of humanity. That tells us that we shouldn't tolerate that. Jesus, or as we say, Isa, peace be upon him, he is a prophet, and we do believe in him. And the Quran says about Jesus that peace be upon him the day he was born, the day he will die, and the day he will be resurrected. And his whole message was about peace. So Christmas time is an interesting time for Muslims. We don't have a Christmas tree in the house. We don't decorate our house. But we talk about Jesus, and we recognize that he is a prophet. And this is the link that we have with Christians in society. It's really important to encourage our children to realize that they have quite a bit in common, in fact, that they believe in one God, that they believe in Jesus, and it's a good opportunity to try and sort of create bonds between our children. So on Christmas Day, we do like to try turkey because it's once a year, so why not? And I do make a Christmas dinner with all the trimmings and with the mince pies for afters. My alternative Christmas message this year is the peace on earth and goodwill to all humankind, regardless of race, colour or creed.
So if you could sit down with that straw on Christmas Day, what would it taste like?
Merry Christmas, Jack, and Happy New Year.